instant rewards for little. You accomplish a little bit, you get a reward. Accomplish a little bit, get a reward. That's very different than the classroom where you sit there for weeks, take a midterm, and you may or may not do well. It's a way different when you're interacting. And in terms of learning, also, if you think about it, I mean, I spent 22 years at Ohio State, and I grieved because of the way that college was taught. All respect to Mount Vernon and respect to Dr. Spahn, but the way up until 100 years ago all of us would learn is we would be with our dads or moms on the farm or in a rural area, and we would be learning as an apprentice. We would be studying under a master, studying under someone who could help us, figure out. So the course was individually tailored. It would be like an independent study or a tutoring thing we would call it today. But that's how we learned for 10,000 years. And now we have to sit in a classroom. Well, no wonder that, it's hard for some people to learn that way. This is an opportunity to think outside the box and go, is there a better way to learn? And other people are doing that. We know you're not getting your master's in education, but some people have gotten their master's in education, and they've been looking at this. So that's the kind of stuff that, the shopping and the research and things that you would need to do to try to meet her goal of, let's just make it fun for kids. And let's make it, Okay, so I'm done.
I have a chance to use new technology over projectors, and Professor Wright always clear foils and overlay stuff to show you now with the PowerPoint. This is like another major step ahead, is having to use technology like this to facilitate teaching in a whole different way. And that's why it's really exciting. It's very different.
I wanted to just add a couple points that maybe if you guys remember when you're thinking through this stuff might help. By the way, I found out it's like 169,000 teams on Team SecondLife.
Oh, is it?
I was way underquoted for that. I finally heard from them. And one thing to think about with all this, the average kid is a 15-year-old male. So that's that. Even though there are lots of girls, some of them, 13 is the youngest. Okay, the youngest that is allowed to be on SecondLife.
Thank you.
So, but the average kid is 15-year-old and is a guy. And a lot of them do play MMOs, massive multiplayer games. But, so there's that. SecondLife, the things, what I have learned about it in the last year and a half is you want to use SecondLife, cater to its strengths. And SecondLife has a couple strengths. One is it's relational because of the voice chat. People are there to form relationships and to make friends and to talk about things that matter to them, or teens to talk about silly things, whatever. So whatever we do needs to have some kind of relational component, either relationship between the teacher or whoever is, head of this particular thing they're trying to learn and the student, or with a group of students and a teacher, but there has to be a relational component to it. The other thing is the creative. I mean, some of these kids are so creative, it will knock your socks off. The things they build and make are amazing. And some of those kids we can get to help you, like if you say, I want a snowman, you don't have to learn how to build a snowman. I have tons of kids that just as an example, so it's not that you would necessarily need, but it's the ideas we need you guys to come up with. Ideas for how to get particular content across. What's going to be an exciting way to do that, and a way that the kids are going to remember, and a way that we can see that they've actually learned the material. So, that it's, creative and using SecondLife, I think, to its utmost with the technology. In SecondLife, you can do things like have a holodeck. So we could have this room in SecondLife set up as a classroom 1 minute, and the next minute it could be, I don't know.
Do you know what a holodeck is?
A holodeck like Star Trek? No. Oh, jeez. I'm really old. Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
You can explain
Maybe you can explain it to your
friends.
Basically, it's a room that you can set to be whatever you want it to be. So we could have a lesson. One of the lessons I want to give you guys to work on is a lesson on God being our Father. So you could have a whole thing however you choose to get that across in a creative way. But then, and I push a button, so okay, that's that set up, and then maybe we have another lesson on evolution and creation, and change that same space into an entirely different thing. So there are a lot of things we could not do in this world that you can do on Second Life. You know, the resources are pretty limitless. Everything's fairly cheap. You know, if you need a building, it costs $2.
$2 US.
You know, $2 US. So I don't know. We just are looking. I'm looking for some help conveying material creatively beyond just the discussion groups that we're doing now.
We were talking in the car too, and actually, Dr. Scott, I forgot to mention this, I asked you this beforehand, so please jump in and correct me. But in this class, I don't want to use the word plagiarism, but you can get people to help you accomplish this. And in fact, that's kind of a goal of this class, to see how well you're able to find stuff that's already done, how well you're able to integrate that with other things that are done, how well you're able to have other people help you. So when you're on Second Life, you can go on and say, you know, hey, so-and-so, you know, whatever his name is, Darth Vader, or whatever he comes up with for his name. I see that you know, are, unlike some classes, in college, you're given the material, you better work on your own, or you're going to be in trouble if you copy from somebody else. In this case, we're not saying plagiarize, we're saying got to get the job done. Getting the job done definitely includes finding other people to help. So, and by the way, this one book, Second Life Grid, that was one of the points they were making, was the people on Second Life are there as creative. A lot of them are guys, a lot of them are computer guys. There's graphical people there. They would love to help if you could explain what it is you're trying to do and to give you pointers. So, you know, that's a lot of what this is about. In the case of Drupal, it's the same thing. You're going out looking for modules, asking people, what have you done? What other projects have worked? It's a similar project to what the social work department here wants to have done. Is there a similar project? How did that happen? Oh, you're not going to tell me unless I pay you, you know, or unless I get you as a consultant. Well, okay, we'll see if we have it in the budget. I don't know about the social worker, but they have a budget.
Right, yeah.
Second Life does have a budget. Hey, you can give me that, but it's going to cost $40. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. Maybe we can get that. Do you understand that?
Yeah, probably another way to think about this is you know, our goal is to propose and prototype a solution, that the best possible solution that will work given our constraints, both financially, expertise, time, and availability. And we will use whatever tools, because we're not necessarily programming, although we might be, but we're building a system. We're designing a system to solve a real world problem. And one of the rules, if you will, of real life is that you've probably heard this term before, don't reinvent the wheel. If there's components that are available and within our affordability, and it does exactly what we want, that probably should be part of our solution. And so, and this is what software engineers do, is they're given a set of constraints, they're given a set of requirements, and their job is to come up with a solution within that solution space.
It's sort of ironic in the way software developers in the real world investing in these not developed software. I'd much rather, when I was working, somebody find software already works